Give me just a minute. Welcome to the Artistic, Mystic, and Muse site. I'm Nancy, your Muse. I'm changing things up a little bit. This is a collective reading for May 16th through 22nd of 2021. So if you returned, welcome back. If you're new, thanks for joining us. If you hit subscribe and make the notifications so that you find out when I've got new things coming out, you'll be notified. So thank you. I'm going to get to it. Spirit had a number of messages for the collective today, and when I refer to the collective, it does include those people who are awake and know they are on a path to assist the planet healing. But anyone that's in the collective is anyone that's vibrating or coming from a place of love, preferably in any and all things. So all are welcome here. So welcome, and let's get going. The messages were positive and good. It's just kind of a continuation, but there are a few particulars that I'm going to talk about. We have the bone collector that came out, and this talks about you have everything you need for your journey, for your path or purpose. So you need to trust in that. Magic prayer. Your prayers, your meditations, your intentions have been heard. They are being, spirits listening to them, angelic realm, the universe, God, they're listening. But sometimes it doesn't come to fruition until it's time, what we call divine timing. So send them out and then just kind of let it go and wait for it to come to receive. And the other one is storm fields. So storm fields usually talk about the chaos, the nuttiness that's going on. It's still going on globally. But it also refers to the fact that those feelings, those situations, situations, I guess, we're in the middle of it, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. So it's important to stay grounded, staying from a place of calm. And the bottom of the deck, we have gentle gardener, and this talks about just doing you. Don't worry about everyone else, what everyone else is doing, what everyone else is thinking. Stand your own truth and integrity, and things will be just fine. We also have flying free. It says, I unfurl my wings and fly. So the main part of the reading talks about that moving forward, and we have a dove, which is usually a symbol of divinity, but notice that she's flying out to bigger waters, new locations, new situations, new experiences. In the bottom of the deck, it says, embrace the future. I step into the future with an open heart. Staying open, staying from a place of love as you continue your path and it doesn't have to be down the road. Deal with just what's in the now. And again, we have this expansive landscape that's opening up. It also, they said to take this one, starting fresh, a wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. And those beginnings don't have to be ginormous, but it is spring and things are blooming. So keep in mind that, Keep in mind that starting fresh, it could be a small little habit that you decide to take, whether it's being more active or a hobby or whatever that is that interests you. And it has cultivating prosperity. The abundance of the universe is pouring into my life. And again, abundance. And look, it looks like spring, the planting and of new beginnings. Those things that are pouring in are of all shapes and all sizes and come from all kinds of places and all kinds of people. So be open to receive that. I am vibrationally responsible for my words and actions. So coming from a heart-centered place, it is very important that you are mindful of your thoughts. And your thoughts are what creates the choice of your words, the choice of your actions. So make sure that you look at those things in a positive manner, even the challenges. What is the situation trying to teach you? It's happening for you, not to you. And we also have thankful for my vibrational life. Oops, there we go. So coming from a place of gratitude for everything is really important. Bottom of the deck, I am in the flow of universal vibrations of prosperity. So again, they're talking about abundance of all kinds coming in for you, even the daily ones. So try not to forget that. Okay. It says, I go where you go. So this talks about your connection to whatever for you is your, not only your higher self, but to source, your spirit guides, God, the universe. You're never alone. And that's the big takeaway here. Be true to yourself. And we had that with the gentle gardener, is do what's right for you. And don't try to fit into something else. It's not authentic to you, especially if something comes up and you get that niggle, as I like to call it. It's like, something's not quite right, or it's a little off. Center yourself, be still, and be true to yourself. What is right for you? And they say, you will be surprised. So I love that. That's really good. Let's see here. Okay, we also have extremes. So staying in balance, not swinging from one end to the other, but, not overdoing things, one thing or another, whether it's personal or it's even professional. Stay at, as we say, even keel. Pleasure. Are you taking time to enjoy things or doing something nice for yourself? That is important. And it can even just be taking a walk, smelling the flowers, listening to the birds. I have a friend, she buys flowers for herself at a local farmer's market. It could be anything of those things. It can have, for me, it might be a cup of coffee in the morning with a new kind of, creamer, or a piece of really good dark chocolate. That would be another plus. But whatever that is for you, take pleasure in those things. Okay, I then went to the numerology deck, and we have completion. And so a cycle is completing for many of you, whether it's, and it's not just, it could be in your personal life. It can also be in your professional life, but it could also be how you're looking at things, how you look at yourself, what you're kind of clearing out and that's no longer needed or you need to focus on anymore. Followed by spiritual career. So don't panic at this one. Source is not telling you to change jobs, though some of you might be, and you might be going more on a spiritual path. But it also asks you to connect spiritually to maybe another, or it could be a community that you're a part of. There are things that gifts, talents, abilities you may have that even kind words that could be of help to someone who really needs to hear it. And that's part of a spiritual career, is that you connect with people, those you're guided to or that are placed in your path. Change is afoot. It's going to be a theme, I think, for 2021. But changes that you make for yourself, changes that you experience in your daily life. So stay open to what those are and embrace them and see what you can take from them. And the bottom of the deck, it asks for physical activity. So make sure it can be even getting up and cleaning your house, but it can be getting out in nature. That's always good for grounding. So I would highly recommend that. Or if you have a meditation or a yoga is a little more physical than meditation as far as just sitting there and doing, your kumbaya kind of thing. Got a little affirmation, but try to get out. And even if it's hard finding that kind of time to carve out of your day, it may be going to the grocery. Maybe you take an extra lap with the cart, whatever that is for you. And below that, they're telling me to take this one too. We have individuality again. What is right for you? And we've got a divine number, master number 11. So your guides are with you, and they're there to support you in whatever is going on. Oh, and I also forgot this bottom of the deck. We have power. You are powerful. Your thoughts, your words, your actions are powerful. That's why you need to be conscious of what those are so that you keep yourself in alignment, is basically what that's about. We also have Call of the Muse. So what things, not just amuse you, but what things do you enjoy doing? Something that's just for you. It can be a hobby. It can be or a craft or something you make or do. It can even be like, some of my friends are really big readers. Finding some new book that really is inspiring to you. You thought, I thought about reading that. Read it, enjoy it. But that gives you some kind of inspiration. It can be to take action, and it can also just be for your own wellness and good. Earth magic. Okay, they're now telling you to get out in nature. We now have confirmation. You grounding and communing with nature. Because everything's connected, right? And nature's very healing too, by the way. And we have beautiful uncaging. So I'm getting two messages for this. Part of this uncaging is us coming out of quarantine and that kind of thing, and getting out. The weather's improving in a lot of places here in the United States, and hopefully other places around the world as well. But getting out of your cage, your little cave that we've all kind of felt we've been in. And also the uncaging is uncaging of your heart, of expanding it. You can ask God, Source, the Creator, Divine Mother, who or whatever you commune with, but to expand your heart, to help uncage it, to release, to help you even release things. Maybe there's been some things that from a heart place you've been kind of holding back. Could be a conversation you need to have with someone or yourself. But it's time to open the cage. You are the key to the lock. Notice there's a little lock here. You have the ability to do that. So I just keep getting opening, like to be open to not only just situations, but people. Being kind is a big one. Is maybe I was recently in a drive-through, and someone had paid it forward. They had it was for upcoming Mother's Day, and someone paid. If they were a mother, they asked that so much money be put towards that person's purchase. I mean, it can be that, but even if money is tight, which it is for a lot of people, doing something nice for someone, even just calling them and checking on them. I've had a couple people I've been checking on because they've been going through some really difficult things, and I extended myself, and not knowing how it would be received, but just knowing that someone is thinking of another person. That person, may be feeling really isolated. So reach out, possibly open that big, generous, beautiful heart of yours, and do what you can for someone. And it doesn't have to cost anything. Kindness doesn't cost anything. So start there if you need to. Bottom of the deck, it says ears wide open. We got a little fox here. So listen. And in this, I'm getting twofold as well. Maybe there's someone you need to reach out to. They've been going through something. They've been isolated. I know there's a number of elderly people in my family and community that they have felt really isolated, especially the elderly. But maybe you need to just call them. They may not be up for a physical visit, because some of them, their immune systems aren't so good. But anyone like that listen. It's not so much sometimes what they're saying. It's also listening to what you're being told, your intuition, how you're being guided. So we're not calling anyone big ears, but this guy's got big ears. So they're asking you to expand how you listen, right? And if you are speaking to someone, sometimes it's those subtleties, those things that they're not quite saying, but they're kind of under the surface. So that would be recommended. Okay. So I'm going to get on to, actually, I'm going to backtrack here. I've got one more oracle deck, and then I'm going to get to the main reading. So the bottom of my deck, this is a deck I designed, and there will be information below if you want to purchase the deck. It's fun. It doesn't require any special directions. You just get the deck. you shuffle it and see what comes out, or pull out a thought for the day. But it's the keys to the 13 universal laws. And this is what governs creation, all of creation, everything, the blueprint for everything. And the overlying energy for this is abundance. So abundance is all around us. It's even like we're having a beautiful day here today. Sun's out. It's a little cool, but the clouds are fluffy and the sky is blue. And where I'm at, we don't have a ton of blue sky days. So what kind of abundance do you have around you that you can show gratitude for? And if you have abundance of your person, of financial, whatever, maybe that's a key to a key, oh, pun intended. That may be a key for you to share that with someone. And like I said, it can also just be your kind words. But what you put out, you get back. That's the law of cause and effect, but also polarity. So the quality of what you put out is what you receive. And the 3 cards that popped out for this were growth. So expanding your heart, expanding your concepts a little bit, or dipping that toe in the water, right? Trying something new, making a new friend. Friendship came out next. So there could be some people that you're going to meet that help you also, someone you can talk to, or a time maybe you want to spend with someone new that maybe you haven't really put in, but you've been kind of thinking about it. Go forward and take action. Get them a cup of coffee and sit down, or get on the phone, whatever that is, or a Skype session, or however you do that. Friendship is also you extending, like I said, yourself, as well as possibly new friendships, new community, whatever your community is, may be being brought before you. So again, open your ears. I'd also say open your eyes, but see what's being given to you. And then it also talks about stillness. So this goes back to taking quiet time for yourself. Could be a bath, it could be meditation, it could be walking in nature, but to get quiet so you can hear the messages that are there. I have one friend, she really connects with the trees, and the trees give her messages when she meditates. She sits down at the base of the tree, or whatever tree is called to her, she feels called to, and she does it as meditation, but she found out she was getting messages because she was still enough and quiet enough to listen. The flowers speak to us. There's all kinds of ways animals speak to us. Maybe you have a pet, or you volunteer at an animal shelter or what have you, but get still. It will also assist you in what's coming up here with this reading, as far as what challenges you may face this coming week, which is the 16th through the 22nd. So what I asked Spirit to help us pay attention to, and the answer was the 7 of Swords. So on the one hand, this card can be about a thief in the night. So for some of you, maybe there's something that's not been sitting quite right with you, whether it's a personal relationship or something in business, what have you. It can talk about, watching out for being taken advantage of. But based on what the clarifiers have, this to me talks more about these swords or experiences. They are done. They are in the past. They no longer serve you. But the knowledge and wisdom, you're going to take what resonates for you and go forward. And it's clear. I'm getting dings. We're getting hits on this one. It's clarified by the King of Swords. A lot of times this can be a judge, a lawyer. So if you're dealing with legal situations, that may pertain to this. It can also be you sitting in a place of wisdom, discernment, but you have to get still to kind of help sort it out. But using that knowledge, because it was further clarified by the details card. So looking at something more carefully, and it could just be yourself, or it could be a situation. So you'll know as it shows up for you. And we also had Head of the Pack, and this talks about persistence and perseverance, finishing, and kind of like, you're in this challenge, or you're seeing something that needs to be dealt with, but going forward and making it to the finish line. Could be healing something, right, with yourself. Spirit's advice is judgment, which is kind of interesting because this guy is sometimes seen as a judge. Judgment talks about a rebirth. So this is what's waiting for you if you can address those things that you need to let go of to move forward. And you need to examine what they are. But a new way of being, a new way of thinking, a new way of doing, which is a rebirth, is what this is about. It's clarified by the Eight of Wands, and this usually talks about either swift action coming in, or messages, or you taking swift action. And for me, this talks more about you taking action swiftly. Once you've dealt with what you need to, don't dilly-dally in living your best life. Don't sit there and kind of like, well, I'm glad that's over. And yes, I'm sure you are, but like, okay, so now what do you want to do next? What do you want to go after? And it was also clarified by the moon. So this is also called the princess, or like page of water, but in regular tarot, the page of water is the page of cups. And this talks about taking steps, going after something that really makes you happy, makes you fulfilled. And it doesn't have to be anything big, it can be small. But the moon also talks about there are some things maybe that had been hidden, or the divine has not been able to give to you because you were still dealing with the leftovers, the stuff in the past that need to be released. And then the moon that's coming up on the 26th is a powerful moon. I'm not an astrologer, but it's a new moon, but the moon is an eclipse moon. It's also called a blood moon or a flower moon, where things are planted to then be grown. So the time frame, they're wanting you to take care of this because the following week is when that moon is coming, the big moon energy is coming. So keep that in mind. If you follow Spirit's advice, we have the Knight of Wands, and this is you moving swiftly forward towards what it is that you really want, taking some kind of action that's going to bring you the Ten of Cups. So this is happy life of a heart-centered, emotional standpoint, something that really brings you joy. And it's further clarified by this stallion, which talks about breaking free, being liberated from whatever this stuff is that's been bogging you down, or the past, taking charge, but being motivated to then go after what you need to, or what you want and desire. Clarifiers, bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. So you've been patient, you've been hanging in there, and this is time, this completion of whatever it is you need to complete is almost over. And below that is the Death card, which again talks about the end of a cycle and a new beginning, something being birthed that's new. Below that we have the Hierophant, so it's being divinely overseen. You're telling me to keep going. And we have the Ace of Cups, which is agape love, love of any and all things, blessings coming in. And they want me to reiterate, taking action, clearing the deck and taking swift action. Don't put off what you can, do tomorrow, do today, kind of thing. And the clarifier decks, we have the King of Wands. This is a person of action, but they're very conservative as far as like with what they take action. They just don't do everything. This guy knows what he wants to go after. He's very strategic, but he goes after it. And below that is the Page of Cups, which we were just talking about. What lights you up? What makes you happy? And we also have the Hummingbird. This talks about a new journey, a new beginning of some kind, a new way of doing things. And we have the Rabbits, which talk about new beginnings and abundance and fertility. So those seeds you're going to sow and nurture are going to bring in all kinds of abundance for you. Staying anchored, staying grounded, staying balanced is very important. Okay, I also pulled from my Milagros Miracle deck that I designed, and we have the Bull, endurance and stamina. Yes, it's been a long road, but you have what it takes to see this through. And we have eyes, watched over by spirit in the angelic realm. You are receiving assistance. Bottom of the deck, we have the horse. Take action. Horses are also very healing. They're a healing totem. So whatever it is that you need to heal, put away, come to a sense of peace with, right? Release. That's the overlying energy. And below that, we have Christ. Love, compassion, non-judgment, unity, conscious, and oneness. Wow, that's really good. So the last deck I'm going to pull from is my last oracle deck, which is the bees. Bees are one of my totem animals. They talk about, you being productive as an individual, but the bees are also about community. So let's see what they have to say, and then we'll wrap this up for today. Ooh, there's one. Okay, the bees are chatty. Be faithful is the bottom of the deck. So keep your faith that things will work out the way they are meant to. Take flight. Take action. Go forth. Be fearless. Go after what it is you want to do or accomplish or whatever it is, or create. Be yourself. And we already had that in one of our other oracle decks. So that's all I have for you for May 16th through 22nd. Again, feel free to subscribe, like, share. I'm going to be going live here on the 26th on Facebook, so keep an eye out for that. If you haven't, if you search on Facebook, The Artistic Mystic and Muse, you'll find my page and sign up to join us on the 26th. I'm going to be pulling cards, and we're going to see what the universe has to say for us for the big moon on the 26th. So blessings to you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.